at Franklin County High School. A student was charged with a crime.
Also on WKYT this morning, investigators hope for more answers today after a body was found on the property of a missing Pulaski County man.
And Lexington police are investigating an overnight shooting.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Here it is Friday morning, September 25th. We're heading for the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's going to be, a little bit of a rainy day.
Yeah, all of a sudden, after all the days and days of sunshine that we've all enjoyed, some showers are moving in. They're needed at this point. Here's meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
They are definitely needed, guys. We've been pretty dry for a while, getting hit and miss showers from time to time. But now we're going to get covered up, looks like, with a solid chance of rain already filling into our southeast, and all of this will be checking back toward us. It's coming in reverse, and that's where we'll be tracking the showers from east to west as opposed to the normal setup. Today, showers continue pushing east to west, as I mentioned. As we go into the nighttime hours, we might run into some heavier downpours, some locally heavy stuff, but most of it's going to be steady, light to occasionally moderate. And then we go into the weekend, those showers are still around for your Saturday. We will track all of it hour by hour coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, see you in a bit. Thank you.
We're learning more this morning about a threat at Franklin County High School.
A student has now been charged and suspended for writing racial slurs and threats of violence in the bathrooms there. WKYT's Mark Barber joining us live now from Frankfort this morning with a look at where the case is likely to move next.
Good morning, Bill. The first messages of hate were found written in the bathroom stalls in the high school here last week. Well, that was bad enough itself. School leaders say that the case took another concerning turn yesterday when those racial slurs turned into threats of violence against the school. When school administrators first saw the graffiti, they say they tried to paint over it, but they tell us that the racially charged messages kept reappearing. When those messages became violent yesterday, the school did not waste any time finding the student responsible for the fear. We're told the boy was taken into custody. The boy who was taken into custody has handwriting and a marker that matches a graffiti found on the bathroom stalls. He has been suspended for 10 days. Parents were warned about the violent threat immediately as alerts went out on Facebook and Twitter and a one-call notification system. Through this alarming case, school leaders are hoping that parents will hear the school's own message to troublemakers.
We want kids to be comfortable, obviously, throughout the school, and we've created that kind of an environment. We want to keep it that way. Not let one single individual think that he can, make anybody feel less comfortable.
The student charged in this case right now is facing one charge so far of criminal mischief. However, the sheriff says that he is still investigating, and the student could be charged with even more soon. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. 5:34 here in a couple of seconds on WKYT.
Yeah, I hope your Friday's off to a great start. We've got continuing coverage this morning on a case we are tracking out of Pulaski County. Authorities have discovered a body on the property of a missing man.
And later today, deputies tell us that they're hoping to find out how that man died and to learn his positive identity. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our live desk with the latest developments in the case. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. 2 people were arrested in North Carolina. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office charged the pair with evidence tampering in connection to that body that deputies found on Wednesday. A body was found on Edward Van Warmer's property on Jones Knob Road in Somerset. Van Warmer's friend reported him missing on the 15th of this month. That's why investigators ended up at his home with a search warrant on Wednesday. Police say they received a tip that foul play could be involved in the disappearance of the 56-year-old. Pulaski County Sheriff's Office tells us they know the body had not been recently put on the property. Deputies say Van Warmer's son, Jediah Van Warmer, and his son's girlfriend, Amanda Braddock, lived in the home with Edward Van Warmer at the time of his disappearance. Investigators found them in North Carolina yesterday morning, arresting them for tampering with physical evidence. More charges may be filed after police know the cause of death. The two are being held in Richmond County, North Carolina, but we're told they will be extradited back here to answer to the charges. Now today, investigators expect the medical examiner to learn the cause of death and identification of the body. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
New this morning, police are investigating an overnight shooting in Lexington.
Police say they are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. It began when a woman walked into a UK hospital with a gunshot wound. Around 12:30 this morning, police say they were notified that a woman arrived at the hospital saying she had been shot. Police were later able to figure out that the shooting happened somewhere in the 400 block of Corral Street. They tell us the woman was shot while sitting in a car. Investigators say they do not have any suspects at this time.
This morning, police continue to search for suspects in a violent home invasion. Lexington police say a man woke up to find two strangers in his home on Mount Foraker Drive Thursday. We're told when the man confronted the intruders, they shot him. This put two nearby schools, Seton Catholic School and Squires Elementary, on heightened alert for a period of time.
It kind of makes you nervous because it was so close. Like, it's two houses down, and nothing like that's really happened over here before.
Police say the victim was taken to the hospital but wouldn't elaborate on the extent of the injuries. Officers tell us another home on the street was burglarized recently, and the suspects in both crimes have similar descriptions.
An argument between two groups ended in a shooting. That happened around 6 o'clock last night at a shopping center on Eureka Springs Drive. Lexington police say one person was shot. They say the victim later showed up at a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Berea police have now issued a reward for anyone with any information about a deadly hit and run. Police say someone hit and killed 71-year-old Billy Croucher as he walked along Prospect Street last Friday. They are offering up a $1,000 reward in the case. They say it is rare for them to put up a reward, especially this early on, but they feel the time is crucial in closing the case. Berea police are also asking for your help in solving a string of thefts from cars. They posted these pictures of the suspect on Facebook. They say the crimes have taken place in the areas of Jackson Street and Lorraine Court.
Well, Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis says Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear is to blame for all her legal troubles. When the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage in June, the governor ordered the state's 120 county clerks to issue licenses. In a 40-page document filed yesterday, Davis said the governor took control of the county clerk's offices and Kentucky marriage law with the order. Davis is suing Beshear, claiming that issuing marriage licenses violates her right to religious freedom. Governor Beshear has asked a judge to dismiss the suit. This morning, plans are in motion to install a traffic signal at a new intersection in Lexington. The state plans to put the signal up at Citation Boulevard and Greendale Road after the intersection has already seen 5 crashes since Monday. On Thursday, a traffic engineering supervisor met with the design team to discuss options. The state says the signal will be installed as soon as possible.
Sanitation workers held a rally before an Urban County Council meeting Thursday. Workers held the rally to express concerns about on-the-job safety. They say changes have been made to their routes, causing injuries to workers as well as them having to work longer hours. The workers said their concerns have been shared with the council now during last night's meeting. Well, as he stood in front of Congress, Pope Francis took time to praise an American monk who lived in Kentucky. During his speech on immigration, the Pope referenced 4 American figures of inspiration. One of the 4 was Thomas Merton. Merton was a monk who lived at the Abbey of Gethsemane, located about 50 miles south of Louisville. He said Merton was a man of dialogue and a promoter of peace between peoples and religions. Along with Merton, the Pope also referenced Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, and Dorothy Day as his figures of inspiration.
An 8th grader with Down syndrome finally had his dreams come true. 13-year-old Alex Berry, a student at Woodford County Middle School, has been a fan of Tigers football nearly his whole life. Now a member of the football team, Berry got his first chance to play last night. And on his first play, he took a handoff and ran the ball for a touchdown. It wasn't just a special moment for Alex, but for everyone in attendance. Yeah, there you hear it, including his father, who happens to be the coach.
It was cool. It was bittersweet. You know, I'm in the middle of the game screaming, hollering, and coaching, and then you got to turn all that off real quick. You become dad, and it was special. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool. The Tigers later lost the game, but fans tell us in the end everyone felt like winners.
All right, well, good for him. Well, this morning, the Laurel County Animal Shelter is asking for your help after taking in dozens of new rescues. The shelter says they received 29 new dogs from a puppy mill last night, but they don't have enough space to house them for long. Now the shelter is afraid that some will have to be euthanized. In order to save them, they're asking the community to adopt as many as possible. The shelter is open today from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., and for more information, you can visit the Laurel County Animal Shelter's Facebook page.
Apple's newest products will be released today. People around the world will be lined up outside those Apple stores waiting to purchase the new iPhone 6s. Here in Lexington, people have been waiting outside Fayette Mall all night, but only a handful were in line around 1 a.m. One customer says he doesn't think too many will be in a rush to get the new iPhone because it isn't that different from the last one.
Usually there's more people in line. This time last year I got here at 1:30 and I was number probably 50 in line, and now there's only like 8 of us here, but it's still fun nonetheless.
Well, the Apple store will be open at 8 o'clock this morning.
So they have a couple more hours left to camp.
Good luck to them. Hey, at least it's good weather right now.
Hope they don't get hungry over there. Okay, that's right, ahead of those showers that are heading in. Want to check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on out there bright and early on your Friday, and here's a look at our Waze app.
Look, the western part of town looks pretty good right there. Not too bad. Rain, of course, is expected. Jim is telling us, so watch out for potentially some problems on the roads.
And you know, it always happens when you have had a dry spell, as we have had for some considerable time, and then all of a sudden there's rain that you have accidents.
Yeah, you do.
Different people are not used to it, and you get the oil on the road initially.
Well, the road crews say that there are more accidents with the rain than with the snow, which you wouldn't think that.
I believe that. Well, more people are out as well. They're not as afraid as they might be in the snow. Good to have you along. 5:42 Friday morning on WKYT.
People across the world have been waiting in line for hours for the latest Apple product, as we just showed you here in Lexington. But one customer looked like one of the Apple products. We'll show you more of this robot customer after weather.
That's how I want to start showing up to work. That way I can stay at home in the bed when I'm feeling Micah. Showers are starting to show up across southeastern Kentucky. They will filter into our area as we progress through the day. We'll have a closer look coming up.